I cannot believe that it's 2023 already. Where did 2022 go? It absolutely flew by. Can't believe that we're come round already. Now, if you're like me, you might not have achieved everything that you wanted to do in 2022, but that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. You've got to use it as motivation and to give yourself discipline to move forward in 2023. So here's how I'm aiming to get 2023 off to a flyer. I wrote a blog post which goes in a little bit deeper about some of the things that I talk about in this video. You could be able to get a link in the description below. But this video is going to break down the 10 things that I'm trying to put in place at the start of 2023 to give me a fighting chance of achieving the goals that I want to. So, number one, review 2022. Now, this is going to be a hard task, and you might not look at the stuff with such kind eyes, but it's things that you need to do. You need to review where you were, what things have you been doing that you've put off. So, for example, I did a similar review at the start of 2022. I had a list of things I wanted to achieve, but it took me till sort of December 2022 to do them, even though I set myself a target of getting them done at the start of the year. That is a difficult thing to do, but it also gives you the things that you must do. Here's the things you've been putting off, get them down. Here's the things you need to get done at the start of 2023 to then be able to move forward. So part two, get your house in order. Now I did this at the back end of 2022, so November, December. I put a lot of things in place and got a lot of stuff done to make sure that 2023 was a good start. For example, for me, I use a lot of things like software development, adding new features, doing tweaks, going for a walk, reading books. All of these are procrastination tools. So what I decided to do was to spend the last 2 months of 2022 getting all these things that I use as procrastination or an excuse to look busy and to get things done as a way to get clear the decks. And then from 2023 onwards, I don't have any excuses. I can focus on the things I set up and to carry on being consistent. So part three, rip up the goals that you set. So I'm going to use a quote that I don't know where it comes from, but if you've done what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. And as I mentioned, I used work as an excuse. So this is, I'm busy, I'm working towards my goal. I'm working towards my goal. I'm trying to do this because this will lead me to 100 grand a year business or whatever it is. So I got rid of all the goals that I'm going to be working towards and trying to not focus on them too much, and don't use the work of working towards them as an excuse, which I've been very guilty of. So part four, what to focus on instead. Now for me, going back to what I've just said in part three, is to stop action faking. I'm so guilty of it. Like I said, doing some work, adding a new feature to a software development, tweaking a landing page, going for a walk, reading a book, listening to a podcast. It's all action faking. So what I've come up with is a 3-step plan of what to focus on instead of my goals, but that will hopefully lead towards achieving some of my goals. So what's the 3-step plan? So number one, I'm going to try and focus more on income producing activities. Number two, start engaging on social media daily to build an audience. And number three, create content on a daily basis and distribute using a recycling checklist. This video is exactly what I'm talking about from part three. Creating a blog post, turn it into a video, turn it into more short form, and getting it out there and doing this on a daily basis. And it comes back to focus. One of the things I don't think I've achieved my goals is a lack of focus. Is I'm always trying different things. So as I said, get your house in order, rip up your goals and find a 3-step plan that you can focus on and really commit to. So that's what part four is about. So number five, consistency is the key. Now, if you followed me on social media before, I do a lot of comparisons between fitness and running a business. But for some reason, I can stick to fitness plans, work out for 6 months, eat healthily, do all this for sort of the health side. But when it comes to business, I don't seem to stick to anything. I'll do something for 30 days, don't get the traction that I want, and then I'll stop. But if you were training for a marathon, you wouldn't just do 30 days and then give up. You'd do commit for 3 months. So I think I'm trying to apply the consistency that you would do in sort of losing weight, getting fitter, getting healthy to business and going, right, I've done exercise today. Right, today I now need to do the engagement on social media and create content. That's the sort of consistency I'm trying to do. So part 6, keeping consistent in practice. Now, it's all well and good being consistent and saying that, but you need to come up with a structure of a daily and weekly operating system. So for example, if you're doing exercise every day, you know what you're doing on a Monday, you know what you're doing on a Tuesday. Now, you need to do that for your weekly operating system to work towards your goals in the 3-step plan. So what that looks like for me is I do some weekly marketing, which is going to be done on a Sunday. So it'll be creating 5 to 10 content ideas that I want to talk about, finding create 5 to 10 sort of post templates, schedule posts for the Facebook groups that I run, schedule promo emails for the week, and schedule emails, engagement emails for the week, schedule posts for like Instagram and Facebook pages for one of the products that I've got, and also try and build and test and review a sales funnel. Now, if that falls over to a Monday, that's fine. It's this plan that I'm going to do. Right, Sundays, I'm going to try and tick off all these on this list. Then, after that's done on a Sunday, I then flip over to my daily marketing, which is going to be in the morning doing some cold outreach, email and social media. Again, chatting about doing some engagement on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever it's going to be. And then start doing the content creation, scheduling, and recycling. Example, writing the blog post that's in the description for this video and also this video. Then in the evening, I'm going to be doing sort of more tweeting, more engagement on social media, again across all the platforms. And then I'm trying to layer in things like Quora, taking part in Reddit. And it doesn't sound a lot, it comes to sort of 7 tasks each day. In theory, you're going to break that down. Social media engagement, you're going to break it down for Twitter is one task, LinkedIn is another. But these sort of 7 tasks, you can really build up a consistency around and just keep doing and doing and doing. You do need to step back and review, say after 3 months that everything's working, but it's all about doing these practices and trying to move forward with a plan of attack that, like I said, is going to go to what you're focusing on, which in turn should help you tick off your goals. So part 7 is I've then created a content creation plan for 2023. One of the things that I want to do, like I say, I've come up with a structure for keeping consistent, but also I need a structure and a plan and a checklist and a framework to be able to create all this content throughout the year. I'm not just going to be able to go, right, I'm just going to do a blog post today. So I need to do a structure which has come up for me. So I do a blog post, which then have a recycling checklist, which again, if you go to the link in the description, you'll be able to see the full sort of framework that I've come up with. And the checklist includes sharing it on different sites, republishing it, and repurposing it into sort of videos, more short form, tweets for social media, things like that. So you've got this framework to be able to go, here's a long form piece of content, here's how I'm going to redistribute it. So I think that's one of the big things that I've always been terrible at, is I'll do a blog post or I'll do a video and then just put it onto the relevant platform and hope it blows up, which that never works. So you need to get all this cross platforms and get it all sort of building up and driving traffic to something you've just created. So number 8, you can only measure what you manage. So what I'm doing is I'm using Notion to track all the habits. So am I doing my daily sort of exercise and things like that I normally do? But also, have I done my weekly marketing? Have I done the daily marketing today? If so, what have I ticked off? What have I not? And then also as well, right, I published this blog post. Have I done the share part of the recycling checklist? Have I done the republishing? Have I done review the purposing? Here's a link to all the content and things like that. So managing everything that you're trying to do in one single place. And that's one of the big things that you can do is is it's not all stored in your head, it's all on your computer, it's all accessible, and you don't have to worry about it. You can just concentrate on turning up, going through the list, and then and doing whatever you're doing in sort of your 3-step plan. So number 9, this is going to be a big one for me. Sticking to it. No output, but no input. So what I'm doing for the start of 2023 especially is going on an information diet. So what do I mean is, I've mentioned before, I'm a bit of an action faker. So I'll read a book on marketing or business or sales or whatever it may be, thinking it's going to help me move forward, when I'm not actually doing anything with that information. I'm just action faking. It's the same with podcasts. I'll go for a long walk, listen to a podcast, take some notes, but never then put anything in action. And what I find is, if I'm doing a lot of input, it impacts my output. So what I'm trying to do is, I am using sort of podcasts and reading as a bit of a reward or a bit of a downtime when I've done a day's worth of output. So I've got to get all this output out, got to get it out. It's not a two-way street, it's a one-way street. You can only go down with output or back with input. So I'm trying to get all the input out, all the output out, sorry, and then work on reading or learning from a podcast only when I need to. So I'm going on this information diet. So number 10, the final step, is to set harsh deadlines. You just want to get stuff done. So going back to my review from 2022, I had all these things that I wanted to do, and I give myself till the end of March 2022 to do them. And then I didn't do them. And then when I reviewed 2022, they were still left over, and I was only finishing them in December. And I think it's the law of however long you allocate for a task, the task will expand to fill that time. So you've got to set harsh deadlines. So what I've done for January is get a small list of things that I want to do that are one-off tasks, get them done and dusted in January, by the end of January, and then that allows me to just go on to this focus of the 3-step plan of focus on introducing income producing activities, start engaging on social media and creating content on a daily basis. And my ultimate goal with that is then it'll allow me to go act, assess, adjust. So whatever I'm going to do after, or doing the tasks or after, is go take action, assess and adjust. And setting the harsh deadlines allows you to get all the stuff done and then start taking action on a daily basis. So that's it. That's how I'm aiming to get 2023 off to a flyer. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful, if you could subscribe on the little bell icon, that'd be amazing. And again, if you want to go more into the actual recycling framework that I put together, the link to the blog post, the original blog post, is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'm wishing you all the best for 2023.